I had times when I would cry. I'm like, why is this happening to me? You know, a win never comes easy. You work for it. 2 weeks to the pageant, I don't know, people came on board. People were interested in, what are you going to do? Oh, Leah, how should we help you? I've flown out to Enugu alone. I'm having me, my suitcases, my country.
On 31st March 2024, that is this very year, a Ugandan fashion model was declared Miss Humanity Africa. And guess what? That guest is right next to me, and she's joining us on the ONFOCUS show. You're watching MBC Africa. My name is Emma Nyangeri, and join me as we have this interesting conversation coming up in a bit. What an honor to have you on the show today.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome on MBC Africa.
I'm really honored. It's really fun for people to find you, you know, and they want you to share your story or your views. It's
exciting.
Such a privilege. Yeah.
Well, let's start with your name.
My name is Leah Victoria.
And a brief introduction about you.
Wow, I have a lot. Okay, but I know you won't get bored. But well,
A brief.
first of all, I'm a queen. I have 4 titles holding. That's big for me. I'm an entrepreneur. I work at the same time. I work in a university. I mentor other fellow queens, both kids, and we look at boys and girls. I have a business of my own. So that's a whole package for someone.
Let's talk about the adaptation. You've landed into Nigeria. You're meeting people for the very first time. You're meeting new faces. How did you cope up with them? You know, their culture, the new faces.
Adaptation. You see, one thing when you're going to travel, read about where you're going. That's the first thing I always do. Even though it's within my country, and maybe I'm going to the east or to the south, or to the north, I always read about that place. I'm like, what am I expecting to find? So I left Uganda after reading about Nigeria, about the different tribes, their foods. And when I got there, it didn't feel so new. It felt like I knew what I was going to expect. But now remember, it's different countries. So you've read about Togo, you've read about Cameroon, you've read about Nigeria, you have in Kenya, and you have to engage with all of them and embrace them for who they are. And when you're going to be a queen, of course, automatically you're a leader.
Yes.
You expect to meet different people coming from different parts of the world. And even you now, keep in mind, you're also different from them. Even if they're coming to meet a Ugandan for the first time. That means they also have to adopt to your culture, to your principles, whichever you're presenting. But it wasn't hard for me. It wasn't. The only thing that I could find so hard was the pepper in the sauce, in their food.
The pepper?
Yeah, they
in their food?
So much pepper. Like you even sweat when you're eating it. Like you cry out.
Really?
So it's what I found.
I need to pay a visit to Nigeria.
You should train yourself to eat pepper here before you leave. So I thought I would manage, but it so happens I had to even ask the camp manager that, please, can I have my food at the side? Like if you guys are making your food, can I have this one at the side? The only food that I really loved the most was fufu and oha sauce.
I've heard of that a lot.
Yeah. That felt like, you know, when you're eating kalo back here, the white kalo, yes. So that's how they make it kind of, but this is so kind of sticky, but you roll it and it felt nice, and the sauce didn't have pepper. I think it's the best food I enjoyed. About their behavior and culture, it was really interesting. You know, they have norms, but the best culture I love is that they're prayerful. Every activity we had to engage in prayer first. So I found them interesting, and they're loud people. They're really loud. Yeah. That was like, you won't give an excuse of not hearing what she said or he. Yeah, because I'll be at the far gate, I know they're speaking to me. So it's really fun. They're fun people.
Did you get some new names?
Yeah, when I left, I was given Uluma.
Meaning?
Oluma. To them, it means God-given or gift, beautiful girl, depending on what part of Nigeria you come from. Because they share names, like how you see here back in Uganda. I could be called Chomehendo, but maybe I'm Mtora, I'm Chiga, it means different. So it's the same thing with them. So I came out with Oluma.
Okay.
They gave it to me, so it's like, I think Leah should be an Oluma. So when I go back next year and I'm handing over, I think I'll just be an Oluma. I won't forget that one. Yes.
Let's talk about the criteria of voting. How was it?
The voting happened in 3 phases. There was an online vote, there was a popularity vote, and then there was an off-stage vote. Now, the online vote is done whereby I had to share the link and you pay. The popularity vote is we had a TikTok challenge, and all you had to do was to comment your country within that video that was going around. And then we also, the offline stage was on stage, whereby the judges asked, like, who's your best contestant? If the quorum comes and it's your country being scrubbed by people at the top, you've won that. So it so happens I won all the 3 shifts. Wow. That was powerful. Very, very powerful, and I was so excited. So I topped up all of them.
And throughout that period, what was one of those moments you cannot forget during the contest?
To be honest, I don't even know where the support came from. You can imagine support. You see, okay, when people talk about support, we always run to money, we always run to, how would I say, people being around and pushing you. Okay, you go on. No.
When you say you don't know where the support came from, are you trying to say that before there wasn't enough support?
Yeah. It gave me stress. I was so worried. I was like, how am I going to be able to represent my country and I don't have a support system that is strong enough? Like, people who will be like, money-wise, or someone telling you, oh, Leah, I know you can make it. At some point, people will be quiet. And I was worried. I was like, do people even know what's going on? Like, why would... And I didn't want to, like, force people to come on board because we are winning for you do it. So 2 weeks to the pageant, I don't know, people came on board. People were interested in, what are you going to do? Oh, Leah, how should we help you? Out of the blue. But, you know, it takes me back to, I kept on praying about it. I kept on saying, God, you know, if this is for me, make it easy for me, you know. And that's how it came up. People were in, I remember, okay, my followers on X, that was previously called Twitter, they came up, like they would repost my content, repost, and people got to know all over that, like, oh yeah, she's representing her country. It felt so good. In that, by the time I landed in Enugu, I think even some people in Enugu airport had a familiar face with me. They're like, I think I've seen you somewhere. I think I know you somewhere. Oh, you're from Uganda.
The face was
so
trending
excited.
on the socials.
Exactly. And you know what's funny? It's like the people in Enugu are telling me, you're the one going to win. And that gave me
so
energy.
they saw it coming.
They saw it coming. I think they just were like, I think, yeah, she's so queenly. She'll get it. So I also felt momentum. I was like, you know what? This is really meant for me. I'm winning this. So it gave me more drive to even perform to my best. Yeah. So
you had those moments where you felt like you want to back down and, you know, quit this whole thing.
That time when I even had, let me say, it's called a breakdown. Whereby I just woke up and I didn't even remind people, like, you people, I'm doing this, or vote for me. I was just like, let me leave it there at a time. I had times when I would cry. I'm like, why is this happening to me? But when you write to someone, they don't believe you because they're seeing that product. They're seeing like, oh, a win, but they don't know the pressure behind it. There's always pressure to it. But you have to prove to people that no matter the pressure, I made it.
Going.
And it's that pressure that forms you. So it formed me. Now I got to know that, yeah, in life, nothing comes on a silver spoon. Yeah. Nothing, a win, you know, a win never comes easy. You work for it. And I really feel I worked for it. To be honest, I really did the work. I did. Yeah.
A winning, well deserved.
Exactly.
Let's talk about this pageant on the final day. Did you see this coming?
like you see, sometimes when you feel this is for you, you feel it. On the final day, I was crowned on Easter. As you people are back home here eating chicken, your rice and everything. Me, I was on stage there toiling. Actually, I feel like it was meant to be because me, I'm a Christian believer, a very staunch one. So I feel like the rising of us, remember God, Jesus rising on that day. I feel like it was my divine rise too. But I would feel it because even around my contestants, you'd see it. We normally have diary sessions before the day before the pageant. They'll call you and be like, Emma, who do you think will be queen? To be honest, it's funny, all of them pointed fingers to me. So really? I think that created more niche for me, you know. So, but even me, when I was on that stage, I would feel it. You see the crowd. Remember, I've flown out to Enugu alone. I'm having me, my suitcases, my country. At the back of the audience, I don't have anyone, but these girls have someone who has come to support them because they're nearby countries, so they just go through the borders to Nigeria. But for me, I didn't have anyone pushing me. So there is no way I'll disappoint my country, disappoint myself. So I felt it coming. I really, actually, by the time they announced, deep down in me was like, that's me. I felt you're saying, that is Leah. And it so happened that was me.
And how did you feel like the moment they read out your name?
You know, have you ever...
Was it a room filled with a huge audience?
Yeah, it was a room filled of... You know what's really funny is that in some sessions of presenting our work, different outfits, it's like those guys liked me naturally. You'd see them saying, screaming Uganda the whole time. So I don't know how the support system for these girls shifted to me. Up now, I still wonder. Because these girls came out, then their people actually ended up liking me. I was like, oh, this is good working. But I don't know. Have you ever done something over and over again, but you've never gotten an actual win to it? But then this time around when you win, it's like, this is it. So I've been in this industry for long. And of course, okay, I've been topping up titles, but now this was like a major global title and I'm carrying it. So when that
Miss
lady...
Africa.
Exactly. It's a whole continent looking at you.
Yes.
You know? When that lady announced my name, Emma, I cried. And I didn't cry because...
Tears of joy?
It was just like, finally. God, like, fine. You know when you worked so hard, over, and then you win a Grammy. I mean, put it that way. But all the time it's been the top artists known. They'll announce Beyonce, they announce Rihanna, they announce Jay-Z over and over again. But you have that one hit song that gets you to the Grammy. That's what I mean. That's how I felt. Yes, people knew, oh yeah, she's been doing it. But this time around, I was sending news home of, I have the biggest title now. Like, it's Uganda, bring it back home. And you don't know what it means. Like, you fly out, but then you bring back everything from the country you've got. That feels amazing. That feels the best. That's how I felt. I was like, so I'm taking, like, you're not going to even step to your country and you're like, oh, you didn't do anything. But I came back with everything. All my 3 hours with me. So it's a win.
It was worth it.
It was worth it.
And I see you have a lot of queenly duties during your reign. And are you looking forward to contest for more titles?
I'll be very honest with you. It's a wrap for me.
It's a wrap for you.
I feel
Why?
now it's I'm going to try my other abilities. You know, one thing, I have the Leah effect. I'm not blowing my own trumpet, but the things I touch, I know blossom or bloom, I would say. So I'm going to try other things now, you know. Okay. However, I'll be available to help anyone that wants to engage in the industry. Because with my experience and expertise, it's what I offer. And I know whoever okay, there's multiple girls I've touched and you really see. You see them doing it like, yay, they are winning. So I'm going to try out my other talents and abilities, and I know it will pay off. Yeah. So
Miss Africa, Miss Humanity Africa, I know you've received a lot of congratulatory messages across Africa. and even here at the Pearl of Africa, Uganda. Have you had organizations at local levels who are ready to work with you? Are there some projects you want to share with them?
People reaching out now. Of course, you see when they see you posting your work and what you've done, yeah, they are reaching out. And it's not like typically local. Some of them are upcoming organizations, but I'm embracing it and I would love to work with them. Because if by the time someone looks for you and is like, I feel I can work with this person, that is a big thing. So yes, I'm having a few organizations on board that are coming up, and we're just stationing days, because the honest truth is I'm not opening up my own foundation. No. I want to help these other foundations around in my different ways, depending on what their themes are. And I'm like, oh, I can come up. Or I just want to randomly say, I'm visiting this school, I'm visiting this orphanage, I'm helping this person, you understand? But I'm not putting up a foundation of my own. So I'm having a few organizations already on board. They're sending in their manifestos. I read through them and I'm like, okay, we shall do this, but can I have add-on to this? They're like, okay, yeah, what do you have? And so you'll see the work out there. You know, work speaks for itself. You don't have to speak for yourself. Your work always speaks for yourself. Yeah.
Gender equality is a significant role here in Africa and across the globe. How are you planning on helping the girls and women as Miss Humanity Africa?
Now, you see, the women, girls, okay, let me say the female gender in general, is looked at as a vulnerable gender. I don't want to accept it. But not painfully, but I don't want to accept it, because I've seen women and girls do things extremely, and you're like, that thing is owned by a woman. Like, yes, you're like, you are lying. They're like, it's a woman-based organization, a woman-based music industry, it's a woman-based. So, first of all, you see when you see a girl or a woman opening up something and they don't have direction, have the brevity to sit them down and give them advice and like, you know what, Leah, I'm seeing you going this direction, but I feel it's not right. Try this. First of all, I'm ready to engage with them with advice. Let me say oral advice. If they're ready to listen, fine. If they put me on board to have funds or funding, I'll be ready. If there are resources needed, for example, most of women-based organizations look at stationery, look at health requirements, for example, pads and all those things. I'm ready to support them in ways I can, you know. And also, I want to be an iconic presentation of my works, encouraging them to do something. You see, when you're good, or when you provide a certain picture of yourself to people, it pushes. You find that girls are like, you know, Leah, you're inspiring me. You're pushing me to, because I want to be like you. So a picture of me and what I'm doing is what is going to pull up these young girls and women to do the same, but even better. You know, we all have different talents. So that's how I would really take it. Yeah.
Africa as a continent is well known for its vibrant youth population. And how are you going to engage with these young people?
To be honest, I've really engaged with so many youth in different calibers. I've met, you see, I'm a faculty administrator in a university.
Which university is that?
Mutesa Royal University.
Okay.
So already this population of the school is enough youth. I normally sit down with some of them. They'll come to you and say, Madam Leah, I'm stuck. Madam Leah, I need this. Madam Leah, I have this going on. And with the little with the little experience and expertise, with the little connection you have, you help them out, you engage them. I normally set out projects for students. I would say, I'm seeing potential in Emma. He's good at PR. I make calls and I'm like, I want you to help Emma embrace this part. You know, when some of them come to me, they're like, we're having a certain show. We want your presence there. We want you to come and speak to people. I go schools, you know. So I've been doing this for quite some good time. And when I was given the role as queen, I felt like it's a calling, and here I am, I'm doing it.
Mm.
So the youth shouldn't be afraid. I'm here to help in any ways possible. And I know we'll do good things, you know. I've done community outreaches, I've done cleaning community things. It's a lot. Yeah, so it has involved the youth. And since our population in Uganda is more of the youth, I feel like we should use our population to do bigger things, you understand? So, because at youthful stage, you have energy. We don't have to do things when you're older. There's no time.
In fact, there's a scripture in the Bible that says, I think that is Proverbs chapter 20, verse 29, which says, the glory of young men is in their strength,
Exactly.
and the splendor of the old men is in their gray hair. So as youth, there is a lot of expectations from you.
Exactly.
Africa as a continent, we also face a lot of humanitarian challenges. How do you intend to address these challenges? What plans, what proposals have you laid on the table?
So, humanitarian challenges will never go. Let me be honest. It's like challenge and the solution work together. Okay. You solve hygiene, disease counseling. You solve disease, poverty strikes. You solve poverty, then maybe some other thing comes up. However, how do you manage these challenges? You see, we can't reach out to everyone. As a humanitarian, you can't. However, you create boards of people, or you anoint certain people to help you reach out. I already have a group of people I work with. Each of them has, let me say, a role to play. They'll go do their research, they'll go do their findings, they come back, we all sit on the table. They're like, okay, so when I was in Busoga region, I saw this. Okay, when I was in Masaka region, I saw this. When I was in Bara region, I saw this. We're like, okay, so we can't solve all of them at once. Then, of course, someone will come and say, we're having refugees. You're like, okay, now put it all on the table. How are we helping these people? What is their common challenge? And of course, yeah, the common challenge is always basic needs. It's always food. The top one is always money. Some of them don't have shelter. Now, since I'm working with different people, I feel with the organizations that have come up to me, I'm going to distribute these challenges differently. I'm not going to do the same thing, you know. If let me say with Wamala Cares, we've been able to provide basic needs like clothing, food. When I come to Red Cross, we shall provide shelter. When I go to, let me say UN comes up, I would tell them, you know what, let's provide money. So that's how I'm planning to do my thing. With foundations that are already established, I will put my portfolio forward and I'm like, I've discovered a certain problem in such a region. This is their main problem. Let's solve it like this. That's how I'm planning to do it.
And as Miss Humanity Africa, how do you intend to represent the diverse cultures of our continent and globally?
So you see, I've been so much into tourism. The last, 6 months? I've been moving around my country and a few countries. You see, when you're in tourism, you must be open-minded person. You won't find the same people all the time, and people can never be like you, you know? So normally, if even you go to my portfolio, I normally have photo shoot sessions in different cultural outfits. And I say, I was in Nigeria, I was able to grab such an outfit. I was in Togo, this is how I dressed up. I was in Kenya, this is how I really tried to talk about their food in my videos. I really tried to talk about how they behave, you know, the expertise in certain things, in hunting, how they sleep. That's how I do it. So that shows it. I am embracing their culture. Because if I was not culture minded, I'll literally keep on complaining about it. But everywhere I go, I really try to show people that, oh my God, you should come here. You don't know what you're missing. So that's how I do it most of the time. And since I've been involved in tourism, it makes it easy. You learn things. You engage when you go to certain communities, and they have a certain culture. You engage with their culture. You don't say, "Oh, me, I'm different." Oh, back home, this is how I do it. No, fit in. You see, they say when you go to Rome, behave like the Romans. Exactly. So when you go to Kenya, embrace. That's them. Like they want change for you. Exactly. So that's how I do it. I just make sure I embrace the culture, and I roll with it. Yeah.
Let's go back at the pageant. Who are the people you want to give credit? The people who really gave you a helping hand to take part in this contest?
People. You know, I'll first put top notch to God. This is an answered prayer. Like God has always been watching, and you know they say God speed. So you, I didn't know that. You know, sometimes you get stuck on something small, yet God is like, I'm preparing something bigger, and you're just crying over something small here that is failing. So it's God first. Me, I'll be honest. Second person is my mom.
Your mom.
That woman, I know in this context, I'm not even supposed to call your mother a woman, but she's a woman. Yeah, I'm a woman. But my mom has been my rock and roll. Yes, she's had, but I'll be like, I know when things hit, I'm like, Mommy, and she put her laps and like, let's solve this. Sit here. My mom.
Wow.
You don't know. I don't know how I would, if we start talking about it, I even feel emotional. But my mom, she knows. She knows. So she's written my story. She knows from birth to now. She knows. It's been rock and roll, and it's been fun with her. I have my auntie. She's called Auntie Julie. That, you know, they know my relatives could not support you, but this lady and her husband, they've been in and out for me every single time. I have my big sister, Norris. I don't even know what to say about that one, but she's always understood the assignment. She even reads it. She's like, I see you look blue today. What's the problem? Without me talking. I would love to thank the MGN Innovation. Those are the people who are...
Those are the people that reach out to you? Or?
The people who reach out to me to get involved in that.
Okay.
Their advice, their patience with me, that was really nice. All the trainings. It's not easy to have 11 girls and you're training them for one thing. This one is calling for these different languages. It's fun. I would love to thank my predecessor, Queen Patience. Your Queen Patience, she mentored me even before I left the country. She gave me so much advice, and it was really beautiful. My siblings, you don't know, sometimes when you may think you're the one supposed, it's about you all the time. No, but when your siblings come on board and they tell you, we are in for you no matter what, that feels good. So those are people I really thank. And my country people, you loved me. You did, you loved me, because every single time I put up a post, they would come within like 5 minutes. It's like, wow, how can we do? And I didn't know these people. And that's how I even met Nelson. I've met you. I'm seeing San over there.
Yeah.
It's not easy. When your country has you, it's never, just know you're blessed. Because some people are like, this is nonsense. Let's leave it. But people came up. People really showed, like, go and represent the country. It's really beautiful. So I think I now conclude I have a very beautiful support system. Now I see. It's there.
Indeed. Being a fashion model since the age of 16, who are the people you look up to, the people that inspire you the most?
There was a legendary model, and even up to now, I don't even know how she does it, but she's still top notch. Naomi Campbell. Naomi Campbell, even when I was watching fashion shows, she's the same face I would see. So I was like, I want to be like her. I really, really want to be like her. So to me, she's my fashion iconic lady model of all time. I don't care, even though she's 60 or 70, it's Naomi Campbell from day one. She's the fashion influence. Like her walk, I don't know, she's a lot. But that's the person I look up to.
Before we wrap up the show, what legacy would you like to leave as Miss Humanity Africa?
This one legacy I would love to leave is, I would love people out there to see that hard work pays off in the end. I would love people to see that there are no shortcuts to life. You'd make research. no one will come up and start saying, Leah paid me for a win. That hard work, that failure you face.
And surprisingly, there are some people of that mindset that they paid for this.
Let me tell you, when you make a shortcut, me I always tell people, it will come back. Emma, it always comes back. Why? There will be a point where someone will question your will question your strength, and you don't have the answer. And then they'll be like, how did this person come here? How did she make it here? And then they'll be like, you know what, let's go back to our file. There's someone, and then they'll have to bring their talent, their true definition of what they call it. So there's no shortcut in life, even though you pay the money. Yes, after 5 years, you'll be lacking, or you show a loophole, and they'll be like, now we doubt this person. So I'd love to leave a legacy of someone has, like, girls, boys, or children, or women and men have to be persistent. I have been persistent. Let me tell you, you don't know what it means, Emma, like every single time you're telling people, I'm contesting for this, I am doing this, I'm going for it. And people are like, when are you winning? But now they see it. I'm a whole version of persistence, patience, and prayer. And that's a legacy I've left behind. Whereby people who had given up on that, like, you know what? Olaba Leah Achilud them, I'm here. I've even gone to Uganda. Olaba Leah Achilud them, and she got it. Now, I'm even having friends who are now saying, yeah, let me try Miss Uganda. Because of me.
You've inspired them.
Yes, let me continue doing my coffee. Let me continue doing my bar business. Let me continue doing my modeling. Let me continue my doctor's whatever studies. Like, because they're now saying, at the medical, Emma, I've really, really held on. Like, if it's holding that rope, I would have wings. But it's paid off finally.
Wow.
So that's a legacy I want to leave behind. Persistence, prayer, and patience. If you're not patient, you never win. And we get that with time. You know, you can talk about it, like, you guys be patient, but it's not easy. It's not easy. Sometimes you feel like, Banang, I think, let me. But then you're like, no. And then when you're patient, you see something coming, and you're like, hey, yeah, my patience paid off. So that's one legacy I'd love people to leave behind. And integrity, man. Keep up your integrity. I mean, don't fail your integrity for popularity. Some people fail that, you know. You forget that in years to run, people will come and be like, but 15 years back you did this. Or because you're looking for cheap popularity. Keep your integrity.
Yeah.
That's one thing I tell people out there. Your integrity speaks for itself. That's how you easily get into places. Because no one wants to work with someone that has been rubbish. No one. They'll be like, you're going to spoil my image. You're going to spoil the company image. Because you see, when you model, meaning there's so many people looking up to you, like, my model image is this person. Like how you asked me, have you had Naomi Campbell get into scandals? No,
Never.
but she's been doing her, like, why do you think she's still doing the catwalk even at 50 plus? Her integrity. Exactly.
We are live on NBC Africa. The whole world is watching. I want you to leave us with a take back home or a word of inspiration. You're now a key player. Very many people are looking up to you. So many young people who want to be like you. Leave a word of inspiration to them before we wrap up.
No one should ever stop you from chasing your dream. I've been a dream chaser, and it's beautiful. I have now stories to tell. I have experiences to put out there. I've met people. So no one should come in front of your dream and tell you, no, you can't. There's nothing in the world you can't do, you know? So for me, for those who kept on saying I can't, I'm so sorry, I did. So no one stepped in. I was like, I don't care. I'll keep pushing. And now they boldly come by and be like, we thought you'd given up, we thought. So no one should stop in front of your dream. Keep chasing your dream, keep pushing it, you're going to win.
Dreams are valid.
They're very valid. Even though it takes 15 years, it's valid.
Yes.
I've been reading about different people's portfolios whereby you see someone wins at 41, at 50, and then someone says, I started up by doing, like, I'll give an example of Vera Wang. Vera Wang is a label, I think it's popular and most people know it. That Chinese lady, she was a designer, but she didn't get her breakthrough until she was 40-something. But now everyone wants to wear a Vera Wang. You carry a Vera Wang bag and everyone's like, yo, but she got you at 40 plus. Like, can you believe that? Whereby most people look at, you're supposed to chase your dream from the age of 16. There's no age validation to dreams. People get even at 94, and someone gets their loved one they've always wanted at the age of 94. So dreams are valid. You keep dreaming, but at the same time work.
Yeah. It was so nice to have you.
It was really fun.
Thank you for coming through at MBC Africa in for the ONFOCUS show. And we would like to say congratulations as MBC Africa. And wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll host you again.
Yes, you host me when I'm president.
And hopefully we'll give you all the support that you need, in your programs as you implement most of your programs around.
Okay.
It was truly an honor.
It was fun. It was nice.
Yeah.
I'm happy you phoned me to share that story over and over again. I won't stop. I will keep saying the same thing to inspire someone out there. Thank you.
Queen Leah Victoria Nabukera, the current holder of the Miss Humanitarian title, the Queen, we had her here on MBC Africa. I want to thank you for being part of the show. Thank you for always making it a date. It's something we don't take for granted. It means a lot. Until we catch up next time, my name is Emma Nyangeri, your host of the ONFOCUS show. Till we meet again, and don't forget to subscribe on our channel. Hit that notification bell, like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends. Till we meet again, bye-bye.